when a coach turns down an interview request, I'm sorry, I stated that wrong. When a team denies another team the right to interview a coach, often it's the request of a coach. So there'll be times where a coach in your organization comes to you and says, could you turn this down for them?
Why?
Because they don't want to interview with that team, but they don't want to be the ones saying no. So the coach will say to the organization, to the CEO or to the GM, could you tell them no? Because I don't want to do it, but I don't want to be the one to tell them no. Because they don't want the reputation as a coach who's turning down interviews, but they don't want that interview. So they ask the team to turn it down for them.
Which made me wonder, is that what we're looking at with Mike Tomlin, or do you think he really wants to stay in Pittsburgh?
I think he really wants to stay in Pittsburgh.
But do you think he'd want to interview just for leverage? Do you think he'd want to?
He doesn't need leverage.
Rich, how many years can, and I know how much you love Mike Tomlin, and for great reason, but how many years can you take your team to the playoffs and not go further?
I understand that, but the fact that, you know, he could take stock. Let's just say, obviously, Dallas is the team that would trade for him, or Tampa would take him back because that's where he's from. I'm just throwing names out here of some teams that might do such a thing. And Tomlin would consider it. The reason why he would consider it is twofold. One, it's a better situation than the one he's in. And two, he feels the situation that he's in is no longer tenable for whatever reason. I don't think the Steelers will ever give him the impression that his position is no longer tenable, so he needs to get out. We had Jerry Dulac, who's been covering the team forever and a day in Pittsburgh. He said Tomlin signed over the summer a 3-year contract extension for $50 million. That's a lot of money. So if the Roonies are giving him like,
wait, what's 50 divided by 3?
$16.5 million.
Thank you.
And the reason why I had Chris Brockman did the math for me the other day. I'm terrible at that. So that's a lot of money. And so the Roonies have given him that chunk of change, and not just that loyalty if he might have to the organization. The organization has been having him for all this time, and I think he's one of those guys that doesn't want to say, I can't do it here anymore. I give up. You should come trade for me. And the question is would the situation, say, in Dallas with a 32-year-old quarterback that's costing $60 million, one way to put it, when you're talking about Dak Prescott, you could also talk about a guy who's got a lot of years left in him and is a terrific person and a terrific competitor, along with CeeDee Lamb, who he's never had anybody like that. George Pickens, all due respect to him. I guess the last difference-making wide receiver he had was Antonio Brown, who is obviously comes with a warning label. You know, so I don't know what his thought process would be. I don't think he has also a no-trade clause in his contract because he knew this sort of stuff would be potentially possible.
Well, and he may just be invoking that which our parents taught us, or at least mine did. The grass is not always greener on the other side, and he may be cognizant of that.
Check out new episodes of What the Football with Suzy Shuster and Amy Trask every Tuesday. Watch us on the Rich Eisen Show YouTube page or follow and listen wherever you get your podcasts.